Now, let us have a brief lecture on bacteria and types of bacteria and compositions of cell wall and difference between gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria and process of gram staining. First, let us discuss about bacteria. This bacteria may be circular in form. These are called cocci, or there may be rod-like structures. There may be rod-like structures called bacillus, or there may be spiral-like structure. These are called spirochetes. Or they may be different form in which are irregular in form. These are irregular in form. These irregular form of bacteria are called pleomorphic bacteria. These are pleomorphic bacteria. Round shaped are cocci and rod shaped are bacillus and spiral shaped are called spirochetes and irregular shapes are called pleomorphic bacteria. And these circular shaped bacteria may be arranged in two forms. These are called diplococcus, or they may be arranged in shapes of, these are called diplococcus, or they may be arranged in chain-like structures. These are called streptococcus. These are called streptococcus, or they may be arranged in cluster forms. This is called staphylococcus. These are called staphylococcus. An example for pleomorphic bacteria are mycoplasmas. Now, let us discuss about structure of cell wall of bacteria. Let us discuss cell wall of bacteria, bacterial cell wall. Here, let us consider this is cell membrane. Now, this cell membrane is double layered, in which it consists of lipid molecules. Let us consider this is double layered structure in which it consists of lipid molecules, lipid bilayer. It is a lipid bilayer. These are lipid molecules, and inside it consists of cytoplasm, and the layer which is present next to this is called cell wall. Now, this cell wall is made up of special structures which are called glycans, which are also called sugar molecules. These green color structures are called glycans, or it is also called sugar molecules. These green color structures are called glycans, which are also called sugar molecules. Glycans are also called sugar molecules, and these are internally connected by peptide bonds. These are called peptide bonds, which are present between the glycans, which are internally connected by glycans or internally connected by peptide bonds. These are called peptide bonds. Now, this whole along with peptides and glycans, which is together, it is called as peptidoglycans. Peptidoglycans, which is combination of peptides and as well as glycans. This is a composition of cell wall, and my question is, how many number of peptidoglycans are present in one cell of bacteria? Now the answer is only one peptidoglycan. This entire structure is only one peptidoglycans. Now this is cytoplasm. The cytoplasm which is present at the inner side of these membranes is hypertonic. It is hypertonic, and it is hypertonic to the extracellular fluid. Now, how this energy production will be taking place in this bacteria is, there is no energy productive units that are mitochondria. Now, inside this inner membrane of cell membrane, it consists of special enzymes. These special enzymes are responsible for the production of energy in the bacteria. Now, these bacteria have energy to replicate. Let us consider this is one bacteria in which it consists of peptides and glycans. It consists of peptides and as well as internally connected by glycans. Now, and it also consists of inner cytoplasm. It will undergo replication process by binary fission. It undergoes binary fission. It forms two daughter bacteria. Now, the two daughter bacteria which are formed do not contain this cell wall, but it contains only the cytoplasm. It consists of only cytoplasm. Now, later on the development of this daughter nucleus into the further days. Now now slowly the cell wall will get produced on the surface. In this way the cell wall will get developed in further days. Now they will form special structures. They do not undergo death process, and they will form special structures or special cells which are called protoplast. These are called protoplast, and this is about binary fission, in which the daughter nuclei do not contain cell wall. Initially they do not contain cell wall. After, when it undergoes development process, then the cell wall will get developed. Now let us discuss about the compositions of peptidoglycans. How these peptidoglycans are made? These peptidoglycans are made up of two monosaccharides. Let us consider these two are each monosaccharides, and the name of these monosaccharides is, one is NAM and other one is NAG. What is this NAM and NAG means? NAM means N-acetyl muronic acid. NAM means N-acetyl muronic acid, whereas NAG means N-acetyl glucosamine. NAM means N-acetyl muronic acid and NAG means N-acetyl glucosamine. These are repeating units. These are the repeating units of peptidoglycans. These two are the repeating units of peptidoglycans. Now let us discuss about different types of antibiotics which will inhibit the synthesis of cell wall. There are totally 4 classes of antibiotics. There are totally 4 classes of antibiotics are present which will inhibit the synthesis of cell wall. Let us consider this is cell membrane, and outside of the cell membrane it consists of peptidoglycans which are made up of NAM and NAG units. These are NAM and NAG. NAM and NAG. NAM and NAG. NAM. These are NAM and NAG. Let us draw this little bit distance. NAM. These are structural and repeating units of peptidoglycan that are NAM and NAG units, and there are internally it is connected by peptide bonds. These are peptide bonds. These red color structures are the peptide bonds, and they are interlinked with, they form crosslinks. The crosslinks are formed between these peptide bonds. Now, let us consider there are 4 classes of drugs that are. First one is penicillin and cephalosporin. It is one class of drug, and another class of drug is, okay, let us discuss. Before discussing about names of these drugs, now let us consider in the cytoplasm this is NAM and this is NAG. N-acetylmuramic acid, N-acetylglucosamine. Now, on this NAM, along with this NAM, it consists of UDP. This is one UDP molecule, and this NAG also consists of one UDP molecule. And on surface of this NAM and NAG, it consists of amino peptides which are made up of amino acids. These are amino acids. And the last 2 amino acids are made up of D-alanine. These are D-alanine. Last 2 amino acids which are present in NAM are D-alanine. D-alanine, normally in our body it consists of L-alanine molecules are present, whereas in bacteria it consists of D-alanines. Now, there is one class of a drug called cycloserine. Cycloserine is the drug which will inhibit the synthesis of these D-alanines. It will inhibit the synthesis of D-alanine molecules. Whenever this cycloserine is a drug, class of a drug which will inhibit the D-alanine synthesis, there is no formation of these peptide bonds, and ultimately there is no formation of these peptide bonds, and there is no cross-link, and ultimately there is inhibition of synthesis of cell wall. This is one class of drug, and if this drug is not available to us, now there is one more protein which is present at this area. At the inner side of this cell membrane, the function of this is it will attract the NAM units and NAG units. NAM and it will attract NAG units. And it consists of amino acids. Now, the function of this NAM and NAG is it will unite these 2 NAM and NAG units, and the enzyme will be flipped from inside of this membrane to the outside of the membrane. So ultimately there will be formation of NAM and NAG units on surface of this membrane. Let us consider this is NAM and this is NAG. Now the function of this enzyme is it will flip this from inner side to the outer side. Ultimately this NAM and NAG will shift from inside to the outside, which will be made, which are helpful in synthesis of cell wall. Now the name of this enzyme is BP phosphatase. BP phosphatase. Now there is one special class of drug, that is, this is BP means B for bacitracin. Bacitracin is the drug which will inhibit the function of this BP phosphatase enzyme, and there will be no flipping of this NAM and NAG units from inner side of this to the outer side, and ultimately there will be no formation of NAM NAG units, and it will inhibit the synthesis of cell wall. This is second class of drug, that is bacitracin. And if this bacitracin drug is also not available, there is one more class of drug, that is, the name of the drug is vancomycin. There is one more drug, that is vancomycin. The function of this vancomycin is there is a joint between these two molecules, NAM NAG, that there is glycosidic bond is present between the two adjacent monosaccharides. Now the function of this vancomycin is it will break the glycosidic bond between these two. Whenever the glycosidic bond will get broken, then there will be no correct formation of this cell wall, and ultimately results in inhibition of cell wall. This is a function of vancomycin. And if this vancomycin is not also available, there is one more class of drug, that is penicillin or else cephalosporin. Or cephalosporin. What is this function of penicillin and cephalosporin? This function of penicillin and cephalosporin is it will inhibit the cross linkage. Here this is the cross linkage. This penicillin will inhibit the cross linkage here. If there is no cross linkage, there will be ultimately damage to this in synthesis of cell wall. So these are four class of drugs, that are cycloserine, bacitracin, vancomycin and penicillin. These four class of drugs are called cell wall active agents. Cell wall active agents. Cycloserine, bacitracin, vancomycin, penicillin or cephalosporin. These four class of drugs are called cell wall active agents. This is about antibiotics which are involved in synthesis of cell wall. Now let us discuss the differences between the gram positive bacteria and gram negative bacteria. Here let us discuss gram positive and here gram negative. This is cell membrane. This is also a cell membrane. Now inside these are the cell membranes. Inside consists of protoplasm. So inside consists of the cytoplasm and cytoplasm. And here the cell wall, that is peptidoglycan layer, is present in multi layers. Here, the cell wall glycan molecules are made up of many layers, and it consists of crosslinks. In this way, the cell wall is peptidoglycans are multi-layered, whereas in gram-negative bacteria, the peptidoglycans are only single layer. Not only single layer, it consists only some layers. Thickness of peptidoglycans is little bit lesser when compared to the peptide in this is one of the basic difference. And on surface of the gram negative bacteria, it consists of one more extra lipid layer. This is one more extra lipid layer. As we know that the lipid layer consists of lipid bipolar layer. It consists of two layers. Let us consider these are the two layers in which these are the two layers of outermost lipid layer, and inside of the inner layer of this outer lipid layer consists of lipid molecules. Inside of this lipid layer consists of lipid molecules, and outside of this lipid layer it consists of special structures. These special structures, at first it consists of disaccharides. This is one monosaccharide and this is one monosaccharide. These two unite together to form disaccharides, and it includes two phosphates. And it also includes fatty acids. Let us consider these black color structures are fatty acids. Now, these two disaccharides along with two phosphates and with two fatty acids, it is called lipid A. It is called lipid A. Lipid A is made up of disaccharides plus 2 phosphates plus 2 fatty acids which combine together to form lipid A, which is called lipid A molecule. Now on the surface of lipid A, it consists of special structure that is called, this is a special structure, chrome-like structure. This chrome-like structure is called core carbohydrates. Core carbohydrates. Blue color structure which is present on surface of this lipid A is called core carbohydrates. Now on surface of core carbohydrate, it consists of polysaccharides. These red color structures are called polysaccharides. Now one important point, that is fatty acids plus 2 disaccharides plus 2 phosphate ions plus core carbohydrates plus phosphate polysaccharides. This combined together is called endotoxins, or also called this combined together is called lipopolysaccharides. This entire structure lipopolysaccharides, and these are also called endotoxins. They are also called endotoxins. And let us draw once again. These are disaccharides along with 2 fatty acids and 2 phosphate ions. This is called lipid A molecule. Now on surface it consists of core carbohydrates. This is core carbohydrate molecule. Now on surface of core carbohydrate molecule, it consists of polysaccharides. It consists of polysaccharides. Now this entire structure is called lipopolysaccharides. This entire structure is called lipopolysaccharides. Now this is characteristic features of gram-negative bacteria, and one characteristic features of gram-positive bacteria means it consists of special proteins which are arising from either peptidoglycans. They may arise from peptidoglycans or they may arise from cell membrane. These special structures are called teichoic acid. These special structures are called teichoic acid. Now let us come to the gram-negative bacteria. The space which is present between the outer lipid layer and inner lipid layer, that is, this is the space which is present between the outer lipid layer and inner lipid layer. These are called periplasmal space. Periplasmal space. And this is periplasmal space. One more important discussion, that is, let us consider any substance or any pathogen molecules, let us consider this is any substance has to enter into the gram positive bacteria and gram negative bacteria. Now easily it can enter into the gram positive bacteria. It can easily enter into the gram positive bacteria, but here they cannot enter into the gram negative bacteria. So because of their entry point, there are special porings which are present on surface of membranes. Through these special pore-like structures, these substance can enter into the inner space. Now, there are special proteins which are present on gram positive and gram negative inside the cell membrane. These special proteins or special enzymes which are present at the inner side of this cell membrane are useful for synthesis of energy. These are useful for synthesis of energy because of absence of mitochondria. And there is one more enzyme, that is protease, or else irrespective of protease, one more enzyme, that is lysozymes, which are produced in our tears. Lysozymes, which are antibacterial in function. Now it will act on, it has capacity to degenerate the cell walls. It has capacity to degenerate the cell walls, as it will be acting as like antibacterial agent. This is about gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Now let us discuss about gram staining technique. Let us consider gram staining technique, and let us take the sample of a person in which the sputum is taken, and this is the slide on which it consists of 4 bacteria. These are the 4 bacteria which are either they may be gram positive or gram negative. Now this is the first step, and the second step is these are poured into the crystal violet. Crystal violet. These are poured into the crystal violet jar. For 60 minutes, and they are taken out. And now this is a slide on which it consists of 4 bacteria. After dipping into the crystal violet, all the bacteria will be converting into the blue color. Why these all bacteria will be turning into blue color means it will tear the cell wall of bacteria and will accumulate in the space of peptidoglycans, and all the bacteria will get converted into blue color. Now this is third step, and in fourth step dip this solution into the iodine. Into iodine. That is fourth step. Now after dipping this slide into the iodines, now the iodine will react with crystal violet. Now this iodine iodine will react with this crystal violet, and it will distinguish between the gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Now there will be discoloration of gram negative bacteria. Ultimately the color of gram positive will be remain same. Gram negative bacteria will discolored, it becomes colorless, and in next step, that is fifth step, it will be added into the alcohol. It will be added, dipped into the alcohol for 60 seconds, and then it will be removed. That is also same. The color will get disappear. Now this slide will be dipped into the saffron solution. That is saffron solution for 60 seconds. And ultimately the gram negative bacteria will acquire the red color, and gram positive will be in blue color. In this way the gram staining can be done. First of all, sample will be taken and will be dipped into the crystal violet color, and it will be converted into blue color, and it will be dipped into the iodine solution, and next it will be dipped into the alcohol, and the gram negative bacteria will be loses its color, and it will be added to the saffron color, and ultimately the gram negative bacteria will get converted into red color. In this way distinction can be done. This is the gram staining technique.